CodeRobot is a powerful tool to automatically generate Apex test code. CodeRobot is designed to enable you to use best practices faster, thus enabling better code in a shorter amount of time than manually creating your own unit tests. Often developers feel crunched for time and figure that just quickly creating a unit test with minimal data will be good enough and a lot faster than best practices such as test-driven development or TDD. While we acknowledge that practices like TDD are worthwhile, we often feel pressure to get things done faster and aren't able to wait for best practices to pay off in the long run. In the video we are now watching, we can see a developer manually create a unit test by hand, only filling in the necessary fields for this specific unit test. You can easily spend 5 minutes creating a simple unit test. First, the developer opens up their preferred IDE, in this case the developer console in Salesforce. They then start typing out the unit test. This example is for an account with a case attached to it. Like many of us, the developer is crunched for time and will only be filling in the minimum number of fields. In this example, the account name and then the custom field on the case record. If you're lucky and your IDE supports it, you can easily look up custom fields. If not, you have to manually look up the fields, taking more time, adding yet another manual step. As the developer finishes up the test case, we can see that it took them almost 2 minutes from start to finish in this sped up video. The unit test is minimal and would only provide for the test code coverage, not true unit testing. Here at CodeRobot, we are big believers in using test-driven development, or TDD. In TDD, after getting the requirements, the developer sits down to write a unit test that they know will fail. Then they write some functional code and rerun the unit test. If it passes, then they move on to the next unit test. If it does not, then they keep writing more functional code. This process continues until the requirement is met. The code is then handed off to QA and UAT. Salesforce is ideally set up for this practice due to the @is_test functionality. Based on our experience, you spend only 10% of the time creating your test class on invoking your code, 15% on checking results, and 75% of the time setting up the data for your test classes. CodeRobot can dramatically speed up this final part. Now we're watching a developer create a unit test using CodeRobot. First, they create a project. Then they select the account record that they want, followed by the case record. This straightforward unit test was created in half the time as the manual test in the beginning of the video. This is also a much higher quality unit test. CodeRobot automatically handles relationships and bulk records. This enables you to stress test code with dozens of records, ensuring that your code works right in all situations. As you can see in our example, unit test is much higher quality and would take far longer to type out manually. By using CodeRobot, you can use real data in well-structured test code, not simple mockups. You can focus on data coverage, and unlike test factories, you will have a wide variety of variations, thus ensuring the reliability of your code. Try CodeRobot today and start saving time and getting better code. CodeRobot, 1,000 lines of code in 5 minutes.